Welcome back to the Rusty Garage, everyone. Today we have a 04.5 Dodge Ram 2500. The issue with this truck is the passenger side rear door will not open from the inside or the outside. I have verified that it is unlocked, but it won't open, and the handle does feel a little different. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So the vehicle is unlocked. There's locked, there's unlocked. Won't open. I'll record here in a second from the inside. So it won't open. Let's look at the inside. Okay, here's inside. It feels a little odd too, but it is in the unlocked position. Won't open. Okay, so what we're going to have to do on the passenger side is get the door panel off, so we'll be able to reach in there and mess with the locking lever to try to get the door open. So just for video purposes, I'll show you on this side what we have to do. There's no screws on bottom. There's a Phillips screw there that we'll have to take out and behind the handle, and right in there on the lever you can see that is a 10 millimeter bolt. So all we're going to need is a Phillips screwdriver and a 10 millimeter with a extension and ratchet. So let's get the door panel pulled off. See if we can get this door open back up. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this on film the best I can. Okay, there's the handle. So now that that's out, we need to get the the door panel is going to have to get picked straight up and then out. See if I can get the camera set up for that. Okay, door panel's up. Reach down and unplug the window switch. Okay, that's unplugged. There's the window switch. There's the back side of it. Okay, door panel will be removed and laid out of the way. So next step is going to be pulling this plastic liner down, because we're going to have to get right back into here. And we got it glued on pretty good. Now all this stuff is, it's hard to see. This is the lever that runs the brake, or the lock. And the other lever is going to be back in there. It's going to run up to the handle. Okay, there's 3 rods to it. This rod down here, which runs off the inside handle. This rod here, which runs the lock. And then there's the mechanism. There's another rod on the back side. I can get a shot of it. Right here. There's another rod right there. And that rod runs to the outside handle. So this is a little bit of a pain to get to. So I'm going to show you more once I get the door open. I got to figure out which lever I've got to try to get a hold of, and once I stick my hand in there, there's really not much room for filming. So, okay, ta-da! That actually didn't take very long at all. Once I get both hands up in there. So what I ended up doing was having to hold over on this brake lever, or on the the lock handle. Held over on it and pulled up on this, and door opened right up. So now I'm going to go ahead and unhook all 3 of these rods and pull these 3 bolts out. I'll let you know what size those are here in just a second once I get them out. All right, hang on. Okay, I got all 3 rods unhooked. It's kind of a pain because you get your arm up in here, you've got the window track, and just trying to get the little plastic, the red one and blue one right there. You got to flip that holder up off of the rod, and then there's the other one for the door handle back there. So this red one in here goes to the locking mechanism, the blue one goes to the inside door handle, and that outer red one, that one goes to the outside door handle. Okay, to get the latching mechanism out, there's 3 Torx bits, screws, and they are a T30. So let me go ahead and get those 3 pulled, and we'll get that mechanism pulled out. So the mechanism was catching on this rod. I didn't have it all the way unhooked. Let me try to get it warmed up out of here. We're also going to have the electrical plug on it for the electric lock. Once we get it up somewhere, we can get that unhooked. It'll give you a lot of room inside here. I think I gotta try to get it unplugged before I can get it fished out of there. Let me work on that. I'm gonna try to get it back in place and get a bolt in it just to hold it so it ain't moving around, since I can't get two hands in there. Alright, this plug is a little bit of a pain to get out. This is the wiring harness for that. That'll give us a little more room. I don't necessarily see any distinct tabs on this. Sure, it's got something though. Okay. Pull this Torx back out. Let me see if I can get it fished over close to this opening where I can see what's going on a little bit better. Okay, that was a pain. Definitely need to pop this out of this hole in this door. It gives you a whole lot more room. Okay, there is a tab on it. Looks like here on the side, which if you'd known that, you probably could have reached in there. Yeah, I could have reached in there and got a hold of that. But now we know. Okay, Let's look at this thing a little bit. Okay, so again, this is connected to the rod that goes up to the door handle. This blue one is for the inside handle, and this red one here is for the locking mechanism. Okay, well, I'm just seeing these two Phillips screws. I'm gonna go ahead and pull those out, try to pop this cover off. Probably gonna go ahead and just order a new one of these, but let's see what it looks like on the inside. Okay. So it's a door lock. And that one fits right up in behind there, that little plastic piece. Yeah, dropping pieces. So I'll see if a parts store in town has one. Otherwise, you can get one on Amazon. The issue that a lot of people run into on these is the locking mechanism gets jammed up. It'll kind of get caught in between positions, and it won't allow the door handle on the outside or the inside to open up. And I've seen where people have taken all this apart, just like we had, and greased everything really good, which we could probably get by with that. But I think a new one is around $30. So I'm just going to go and see if there's one at a parts store available. If not, I'll look on Amazon or eBay, see if I can find something. Anyways, this is where we're at now with it, so let me see what I can come up with. Find a new one. If not, I'll get this one put back together. I'll grease it real good, and that's all will get us by for just a little while until we can get a new one. Okay, I looked at all the parts stores in my local town. Every one of them would have to order it, and it ranges from $110 to $140 for this door latch actuator. So I found one on Amazon for 30 bucks. We're going to give it a try. I went ahead and ordered it, but it'll be a couple days till it gets here, so I'm going to go ahead and put this back together, grease it, and hopefully it gets me by for a few days until the new one comes in. So I'm just going to use some white lithium grease to get on all of this. You can see those little grease blobs in there from the factory, but like all that stuff, that's grease. But not really doing anything where it's at. So this should get us by, hopefully. Okay, get the spring back on. Pokes right up in here, and then over. Almost forgot a piece. Everything's a little sleek now. Nope. Now we've got full travel. If you look back in the video, you can see it wasn't even hooked into this last tooth. This is how it was when I took it apart. Okay, so everything's greased up. Now we can get the spring in. Got a hook down under that. And flip up in there. Well, hopefully this grease gets us by for a little bit until the new one comes in. So okay. So these rods that hook into here, if you didn't know, they're hooked on the end, and it'll actually go in there, and then this will snap over the rod, and that's what holds it in place. So you get 3 of those. Okay, well, I'm gonna get this thing tossed back in, wipe all the excess grease off of it, and we'll see if that gets us by for now. Okay, it's all wiped off. I got to thinking, before I put it in, I'm gonna go ahead and pull those screws back out and look at this striker plate underneath here and just kind of see what's in here. From the outside it looks fairly dirty, so these are the same screws we took out earlier that hold on this front plate, so I'm just gonna hold on to it. Or if it does come apart, that's the benefit about recording. You can see how it was before you took it apart. Okay, there's a spring. This plate, oh yeah, that's got a lot of gunk in it. Another spring back in there. Trash. Okay, well, let's put a little grease on this too. Right in there. And this piece. Little knob fits in the hole right there. Okay, yeah, now you can see that piece moving. Okay, now just the spring. Okay, the spring's in, that's in. Sorry, filming by yourself sometimes is pain. Okay, so that's all greased up. Lock mechanism still works. Okay. Alright, let me get this thing tossed back in there. Okay, while I was getting everything unhooked a little bit ago, I noticed this rod fell and this became real loose. So what I found on that, I had to pull this cover back, this little white piece. If you twist it far enough, it'll go down through those grooves and fall inside. So I just picked up the rod, got it close, and reached in there with a little pair of needle nose, grabbed the end of it, and was able to get it in there and twist it. So if your brake rod messes up, I don't know why I keep calling it a brake rod. If the locking rod messes up, then That's how you can get it back in place. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get this latch tossed back in there and get all the rods hooked up and plugged in and tightened up, and hopefully it works. You could definitely give you some more room in this thing. Pull the board. Okay, so putting that thing in there to get it behind this window track, you've got to face, I'm going to call this the backside, you got to face it to you, poke it in behind that window track, and then turn it, and you can get it in place. Hopefully that helps out someone, because it was a little bit of a pain to get out, because I had never taken one of these out before. This is the first time running into this issue. I couldn't ever find a good video online of how people took all this apart and got it out. So it's a little bit of a pain. Going back so far it seems easier, but I haven't got to the rods yet. That's probably going to be the hardest part. Okay, so all that's in. Now let me get the rods hooked up. So the rods, they're pretty much going to be by feel. I don't think I'm going to be able to get much of that recorded, but basically each one of these rods has a 90-degree end on it. It'll poke in that hole, and that little plastic retainer will flip up and clip around the rod. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to film much of that. I mean, all the rods they're still loose in there, so I'm just going to have to reach in there and do it by feel. I can't even get a light or anything in there to really see what I'm doing. So let me get this put together. Let's see how much of a pain it'll be. Okay, I've got the outer door rod. Definitely a pain. If you could see, it would help out a bunch. Okay, that rod is in. Okay, that's clipped on. Now these other two are a booger. Okay, let's see what we can do. Okay, door handle rod is in. Just gonna get the plastic piece pushed down. Okay, that one's in. Now the brake, or I guess it's gonna be a brake for me. This one you can see decent. But it's a pain to get to. Okay. Okay, that one's in. Let me get that clip on. Reaching behind the window track to try to reach that little red plastic tab and get it flipped over. Okay, it's flipped over. Okay. I'm going to leave the door panel off. Okay, everything is hooked up. It is unlocked. Child lock's off. Let's see. Let's see if it works. Door panel, like I said, I'll go ahead and leave the door panel off. That new one comes in, or I may go ahead and just put it back together, and if it breaks again, then I'll have a new one to go ahead and replace it with. That's probably what I'll go ahead and do. As far as the door panel goes, let me show you. So the door panel, here's the back side of it. It's got all these little hooks. The door panel fits in these holes. Move the camera. Fits in these holes and just sets down on top. You just need to line up the lock, plug in the window switch. You got one Phillips screw there and the 10mm headed bolt for the handle. And other than that, this project will be done. I'm gonna go ahead and get that thrown on. Alright, door panel is installed. And it still works. It should. Alright. Well, that project really wasn't that bad to do. Once you figure out how to take that latching mechanism in and out. Alright, if you found any information helpful or beneficial, please give the video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing, share it, and we'll see you on the next one.